How well do you recall the first time you got a still photography camera at 8?
That was the beginning of my arc as a creator. Like, I think if you boil me down to the most basic version of who I am, you will always come back to creator. When I was 8 years old and I found out that you could capture a moment that happened in real life on a screen, I was captivated. That was all it took. So I had been taking stills for 2 years of flowers. I love taking pictures of flowers. That was like my thing. And I had been begging my dad for 2 years to get a camcorder, a video camera. Yeah. And finally he got one, and I would record everything.
I was at school today, and then I started to do some work, and then I just, whoa.
Yo, what up? My name is Chicka Chicka Bang Bang. Boom. You know what they call me? They call me Steve. You know why they call me Steve? I don't know why they call me Steve.
I love recording. And then this platform called YouTube comes out. My first video that I ever posted on YouTube was stunts, me doing stunts.
What was the moment that you guys realized the content that you were creating digitally was taking off?
It was on Vine. I was a failed YouTuber for 8 years, but something about the short form content that took place on Vine was way more attractive to Jake and I than YouTube.
Today we observe a teenage male appear to be caught in the friend zone. Research shows there's no escape. I've been spotted.
Why?
I think it was such a new medium that suited our very rudimentary storytelling and comedy at that point in time better than YouTube. 6-second looping videos, anyone can do that.
That was a close one.
Logan was telling me one day how to make the Vine, and I was like, bro, I have more followers than you. Like, don't tell me how to shoot this.
That motivated him.
Yeah, and I had like 50 followers, and he had like 10. And so that pissed him off. It upped our level of competition with these Vines and the quality of these Vines. And I think like 2 weeks later, one of them went viral, and we both grew a couple thousand followers and got a little taste of virality, and since that day have just never stopped.
Let's go! Wrestle!
I thought it was just me as a mom, like, you think your kid's funny, but apparently they really were. And there's kids, you know, hanging out the car, yelling, there's Jake and Logan Paul.
Hey, hey! I know this is a drive-through and I'm not on a car, but I'm on my brother. Does that count? Hey, leave!
Logan did a Vine, I think it was with maybe Kentucky Fried Chicken or McNuggets or whatever. But I remember like in the kitchen be like, dude, you just made $44,000 you're a senior in high school. Wah! You know, we were like freaking out. And that's when I was like, okay, this is really gonna take off. And from that point on, it did.
I'm on TV! I'm on TV! I'm famous! I made it, Ma!
Convincing your parents to let you take the solo trip to New York, what was involved with that?
Yeah, I know. I had never been to New York. I'd never really been outside of Ohio. I was 18 years old. I don't know what the world is.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm gonna go to New York by myself to make videos with a stranger? On paper, it's odd.
Because you'd been invited by another big digital star.
Yeah, his name was Jerome Jarre, who worked with Gary Vee.
I was terrified. He's going to New York? He's by himself with some guy? We have a friend who is like Secret Service. And I literally reached out to him and asked him to look up this guy and make sure he was legit and okay. And turns out he was, and it was all good.
Just got involved in a circle of internet creators where collaboration and virality and ideas were spread, and next thing you know, I'm a Vine guy in college.
Hey, Mom, look what I'm doing in college.
Excuse me, man, in the muscle shirt? Did you get any muscles with that shirt?
I gained like 100,000 followers in 4 days on Vine, which was big. I went from like 400,000 to 500,000, and I got to learn from some of the best. And I found that I had found probably the thing that I would love to do in an ideal world. I'd love to make content and, you know, get paid to do that, but that's not real life, you know. Like,
that's what you're thinking.
Yeah. I gotta go get a job. I'm sitting in these economy classes and business classes and chemistry classes, like doing well, but Just not having nearly as much fun. It wasn't as much fun to me. And I made the decision to take the leap, drop out of college with a 4.0. I took academics very seriously and pursue media.
What did your parents say when you told them you wanted to drop out?
They supported whatever decision I wanted to make. My parents have always been very supportive, and I think it's because they just believe in me.
Kind of knew I wasn't going to stop him. We both had to let him go, Greg and I, and see what happens. And it was very hard to call up Westlake High School and say, I'm disenrolling Jake for his senior year, and calling up Ohio University and saying, yes, we're giving back that 4-year full ride scholarship, you know, of Logan's, give it to someone else.
And he's like, Dad, I really need to be in Hollywood, you know, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, here's my thoughts, Logan. I said, you went past your first year, I said, and now you have $75,000 left of scholarship money. To be in LA for a year, it's gonna cost you 50 grand. I said, if you can get $125,000 in contracts, I support you going. And then Haynes hit him up, and I think it was 120. I'm like, dude, go.
What was that environment like where you're living in an apartment complex with a whole bunch of other top Vine creators?
It was incredible. I mean, it's a creative environment where amplification is the next door. You know, I knock on my neighbor's door, we make a Vine, gets 10 million views, and I can do that again right away in the next 30 seconds.
Were you at all concerned for your success to translate to other platforms beyond the 6-second Vines?
I don't think concern is the right word. If there's a platform to be understood and media graces that platform, I'm gonna figure it out. I was getting better at my craft, and after Vine, we would post our content on Facebook and Instagram, where things would go just as viral. I was able to practice media making on Vine and syndicate that everywhere else because I had an engineering brain and I was gonna figure it out.